Hello and welcome to the second episode of Curly Chats. I hope you enjoyed last week's, but this week we have a little bit more chatting to do. So let's get into it. So basically I'm going to walk you guys through the last few years of my life because it has seriously been such a whirlwind. But first I want to give you guys a little brief introduction about my dance background, my family background, because that's really the reason why I'm here chatting with you guys today. So if you don't know, I am originally from Missouri, a very, very small town, and I have lived there my whole life until the last 2 years. I feel like a fact that you guys might have already guessed about me, but you might not know is that I am an only child, so for the rest of the story, you can kind of take that as you want. So I started dancing around the age of 3 years old, and then I believe I began competing around 5 years old. Even before I was born, my dad opened up a karate school, so I was born as a little karate girl, and I am a black belt. That is my fun fact for most things. When people ask, I'm like, let me shock you real quick and tell you I'm a black belt. So I grew up doing both dance and karate, which they kind of honestly correlate more than you think. I also grew up in a very Christian household, which I am so grateful for because I had seriously the most amazing role models as parents. So at the age of 13, I personally made the decision to accept Jesus into my heart. I remember when I was 13, I ran downstairs to my mom and was like, Mom, I want to do this. This is the decision I made. And then I was actually leaving for Summerfest camp, which is just a church camp that I went to. And so I left I think the next day, and I happened to get baptized at the lake there. And so my parents drove 4 hours up to this lake and came and watched me get baptized in a lake, which was really, really special. And I love looking back on pictures of just such a memorable moment in your life. So like I said, I grew up doing both dance and karate, but at about the age, I think I was 12, my parents chose to sell the karate school. I have found a knot. A very bad knot. So after we sold the karate school, I was fully committed to dance, and I competed all the way up until the age of 15. So at that time, I had already been on my dance team for 1 year, and I made the decision to stop competing with my studio and just kind of train and then do my dance team for high school. And at that point, I did have DCC on my mind, but I wasn't 100% sure. This might need scissors. Guys, I just pulled the actual knot out of my hair. Whoopsie. At that time, making the decision to stop competing, it was honestly really hard because it was something I loved, but I just, I kind of felt like God was leading me in a different direction. So it was really cool. The last 2 years of my high school dance team, we won state for Missouri, and also my junior year, I was so blessed because this was such a confirmation and a moment of just peace that I made the right decision. My junior year, I won state as an individual for my solo. So it just brought me a lot of joy that this was the right decision and God was going to bring me achievements, even though I had made that hard decision of quitting another thing that I loved. I think ever since the CMT show came out is when me and my mom would sit on the couch and watch this show. And that's when I think I began to be like, oh, this is something that I might want to do. So about my junior year, I started doing prep classes and, doing things online and just kind of prepping specifically for DCC. And I knew that I didn't want to go to college at that point. So I was like, this is my all, this is what I'm going for, and I hope it happens. So graduation of high school came around, and by the time I had graduated high school, I had already passed the first round of auditions, and actually the exact time of graduation was the second round of auditions, which if you don't know, they give you the choreography and all that you need to do for the second round on a Friday, and then it's due that Monday. And I think my graduation was on that Sunday. So I was kind of just such on a high, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just made the first round and now I have to do all of this and graduate high school. It was honestly so surreal, and I would not trade it for the world. So then I get the notification that I had advanced onto finals, which was literally such a surreal moment. I was like, you're kidding, I'm not actually going to Texas. This is so crazy. So we made plans to leave Missouri, I think around June 13th. This is very a pivotal time in my life, so I remember all the dates. So we planned to leave June 13th because finals were on the 15th, so I wanted just one extra day to kind of gather myself and prepare. So I honestly prayed and thought a lot about, how vulnerable I was going to be on here, and I'm like, no, I want this platform to be a very vulnerable and comfortable setting for me and you guys, and I really just I hope that my struggles can help you guys in some way. So I'm gonna take a leap of faith and be very vulnerable with you guys, and I hope that it touches, even if it touches one person, I'm grateful. So 2 days before I had to leave for Dallas, I had a boyfriend for about 3 years, and we unexpectedly broke up, but the Lord had just been leading us to make this decision, which was a very, very hard decision. And I was like, Lord, why is this happening right now? Like, this is such an important time. I'm about to go try out for the biggest team in the world. Like, this is my dream. Why now? Like, I can't take this right now. Like, this is not good timing. You'll know very quickly on your journey with the Lord that it's not about our timing. Like, as much as you say, why now, God? He's gonna say, wait until you see why I did that. So I get to Dallas and I go to finals. I actually did the solo that I won state for Missouri with, which was to a song, Madness, I think it was called. But I'll explain why that's important later, because it's a full circle moment. So I did the whole day of finals. I unfortunately did not make it. Honestly, being so truthful, I was broken, but that night I just remember reading my devotional, and it was like, right now it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense, but soon it will. Pretty much all I knew was kind of taken away from me in a sense. So it was really, really a hard time, and I feel like after all of this is really when I dug deep, deep, deep into my faith and kind of made the relationship with Jesus more personal to me, because it was kind of like I grew up Christian, and it was just what we did. It was kind of the rhythm of our lives. Like, I was always so close with Jesus, like did Bible studies, all the things. But this is when I finally felt like I was struggling myself, and I had such a heavy weight on my heart. And this is when I was like, okay, like, it's time to go deep with Jesus. Like, I need him more than ever right now. Okay, sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger, but I'm going to blow dry my hair and then I will be right back.